tonight, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? I hope you had a fantastic Saturday. Well, welcome to Say What with me, Kyallo. We have a great show lineup for you. Of course, a fantastic discussion with Pastor Sue. Leo tunaongea maneno ya mabeshte, friendships and relationships. But of course, we are going to be beginning with the top stories tonight. Let's get it started. The family of Mwabili Mwagodi, a human rights defender from Kenya, has raised concern over the slow response by authorities in the search for him, following his mysterious disappearance in Tanzania.
So we are just asking the Tanzanian government and the Kenya government, where are your voices in this? And why, how can somebody be held all this time, and no action, no reaction?
Allies of the Kenya Kwanza coalition have strongly criticized ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna over his harsh criticism of the broad-based government structure. Meanwhile, ODM leader Raila Odinga now says he was misquoted on his comments on Sifuna. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen maintains that the government is closely monitoring the vast Chakama ranch and that there will be no room for mass deaths as witnessed in the Shakahola forest 2 years ago.
We are very firm as a government. We have made sure that everything that was proposed in the report and the lapses that happened are sorted.
Well, thank you so much for staying, of course, with us here on TV47. Let's begin with our top stories tonight. And our sign language interpreter is Catherine Simaloy. Now, the family of activist Mwabili Mwagodi is calling for justice following his sudden disappearance several days ago. Now, his lawyer, Jana Maina, says the Directorate of Criminal Investigations claims it has no jurisdiction in the matter, which has only deepened the family's frustration. And as our reporter Paul Kirobi tells us, they are now questioning why both the Kenyan and Tanzanian governments have remained silent on the issue. Mwagodi was last seen in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and has not been heard from since.
The family of activist Mwabili Mwagodi, who was reported missing a few days ago, is living in anguish and deep distress. The family saying that despite filing a report with the Tanzanian authorities, efforts to trace him have borne no fruits 4 days after his disappearance.
We even had to go to Kiambu, DCI, and we are still told to come back here, but there is nothing forthcoming from them. So we don't know where the government stand is on Mwabili Mwagodi. Our young man, our Kenyan citizen, the activist who has been fighting for the rights of and the integrity of the church.
His disappearance has sent shockwaves across both countries, with family members visiting the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI offices in Kilimani today, hoping to record a statement and seek clarity on the matter. Frustration mounted as their attempt to get updates turned into disappointment. Lawyer Njanja Maina, who accompanied the family, said DCI officers declined to take their statement, citing jurisdictional limitations.
And we do not understand why they would refuse to take statements from the family of a Kenyan citizen, and yet they've recorded him missing as a missing person. So anyway, that is what we have come to do here today. It's very unfortunate what we are being told to do. We will still follow up with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and this is a call to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Human rights activists have since raised alarm over what they describe as the government's silence and inaction on the matter.
Warning to the government of the day that if we do not get information from your end about the whereabouts of Mwabili, then we'll have no choice but to come and camp at the Foreign Affairs offices. And also our message to the Tanzanian authority. We want Mwabili brought back.
The family now remains in limbo, unsure of Mwabili's current condition or even if he's still alive. He was last seen in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, earlier this month, with reports indicating that he was allegedly picked up by security agents on Wednesday night as he was heading to his hotel. Family members believe he had been under surveillance due to his inactive involvement in the Gen Z protest of June 2024. Mwabili, a vocal government critic and hotelier based in Kigamboni, Dar es Salaam, has long been outspoken against the Kenya Kwanza administration. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, an announcement made by Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has sparked a wave of anger across the country. Now, opposition leaders are now threatening to organize protests in response to Mbadi's remarks. While defending himself, Mbadi insists that he will not lie to Kenyans, saying his statement reflects the true position of the government. But the outrage continues to grow, with many Kenyans questioning where public funds are actually going. Chichi Josephine has more.
The government's announcement delivered by Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi that it can no longer fully fund education has sparked a widespread outrage among Kenyans.
That is what I said.
In Tana River County, members of the community with disabilities expressed a deep concern, terming the move a major setback for children from disadvantaged backgrounds, particularly those with disabilities who rely heavily on government capitation to access education.
Kama mimi mama mlemavu, sina kazi ya payslip, kila mwezi ninapata pesa, ni ile kidogo kidogo ambayo ninasaidia nayo.
Hizo pesa sisi tutasumbuka kama wazazi wa walemavu ambao hawaoni.
Tana River Senator Danson Mungatana criticizing the decision, saying it undermines efforts to promote inclusive education for all, as enshrined in Kenya's constitution and outlined in national development plans.
Sasa ukisema unakata capitation, pesa ambazo zinalipwa kwa wanafunzi, wewe unataka tuwapeleke wapi watoto wetu ambao wanasoma na baba zao na mama zao ni walemavu?
In Embu County, leaders from the DCP party during a political rally issued a one-way ultimatum to the government, threatening to mobilize nationwide protests involving students from all levels if the capitation funds are not released.
Sisi tumesema tutaweka watoto wa shule wafanye maandamano wakuwe mbele tuende State House.
DCP party leader and former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua accused the Ruto administration of diverting funds meant for education and channeling them into executive-led development tours.
That this money that was meant for free education has been diverted by the National Treasury, by the experts ODM brought to government. They have diverted money for education. The money is channeled through the security sectors, is withdrawn in cash and given to William Ruto.
Meanwhile, Catholic Bishop Simon Peter Kamomoe condemned the government's move, warning it threatens to deny thousands of children their constitutional right to education. He described the declaration as not only shocking but also a betrayal of public trust.
The government should realize its responsibility. Furthermore, the money that is being used by the government is a kind of, not a kind of, but this is tax, people pay taxes.
However, Treasury CS John Mbadi has stood by his remarks, reiterating that Kenya's current budgetary constraints make it financially infeasible to meet the full cost per learner.
We need to be candid and say that yes, we want to budget for 22,000 per child, but we have not been having that in the budget. And I was not speaking in a funeral, I was not speaking in a political rally. I was speaking to policy makers.
Despite the backlash, the Kenya Kwanza administration insists it remains committed to safeguarding the gains made under Presidents Kibaki and Uhuru and has no intention of abolishing free primary education.
Na hii serikali itaendeleza hiyo kazi na hatuwezi kukubali ati turudi nyuma. Mambo ya elimu ya msingi, mambo ya elimu katika sekondari.
Between the Ministry of Education and Treasury, we are working very hard to see that we reach that target.
Chichi Josephine, TV47, Nairobi.
The government has dismissed claims that it is ignoring renewed fears of religious radicalization in the Shakahola forest. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen says the ministry is closely monitoring the area and is ready to take swift action should any similar incidents recur. Well, this comes after 4 people were rescued and 3 bodies recovered on Sunday in Binzaro village, Kilifi, raising concerns among locals. Elizabeth Atieno has the details.
Following a series of banditry attacks in the troubled North Rift region, today, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has sensationally claimed that a section of professionals from the Kerio Valley region are fueling insecurity by facilitating
Apologize for that slight mix-up over there. Let me just take that again. And the government has dismissed claims that it is ignoring renewed fears of religious radicalization in the Shakahola forest. Well, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen says the ministry is closely monitoring the area and is ready to take swift action should any similar incidents recur. Well, this comes after 4 people were rescued and 3 bodies recovered on Sunday in Binzaro village in Kilifi, raising new concerns among the locals. Elizabeth Atieno has the details.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has maintained that the government is closely monitoring the vast Chakama ranch and that there will be no room for mass deaths as was witnessed in the Shakahola forest 2 years ago. His remarks comes at a time when a cloud of anxiety hangs over homesteads in Binzaro village, Kilifi County.
It's not very easy to find out where that person is because people are living their life. The police do not police every citizen every day. But at the magnitude of Shakahola, I don't think anything like that will happen again.
In 2023, more than 400 bodies were exhumed from Shakahola forest, prompting the formation of a Senate ad hoc committee tasked with investigating the proliferation of religious organizations and the circumstances leading to the mass deaths. However, a section of human rights activists have raised concerns that the committee's recommendations are yet to be implemented.
We don't understand why the government does not move. They have not even given us a report. They have, from the Shakahola one, they barred the civil society, the media from seeking the truth. Why is it they're hiding? What is it that they're hiding?
We are very firm as a government. We have made sure that everything that was proposed in the report and the lapses that happened are sorted out.
Some of the key recommendations include a probe into the circumstances that led to the death of followers of the Good News International Church led by controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie, and the registration of religious groups through the Office of the Registrar of Societies.
So it's a very complex issue. It's not just something that happens at once. And it's worse when it happens in a place like Chagama.
Just last week, security personnel rescued 4 individuals and began investigating the deaths of 3 others in a suspected case of religious radicalization at a secluded 5-acre homestead in Binzaro village, Chakama, Kilifi County. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47.
Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has made damning allegations claiming that some professionals from the North Rift region, among them police officers, are aiding the illegal trade of firearms and ammunition. While speaking in the wake of escalating insecurity in the area, Murkomen warned that the government will take decisive action against those fueling violence by arming criminal groups. Samira Mohammed with more.
Following a series of banditry attacks in the troubled North Rift region, today, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has sensationally claimed that a section of professionals from the Kerio Valley region are fueling insecurity by facilitating the smuggling of firearms and ammunition to criminal elements operating across the region.
From government offices. And all these officers, whether we find you are in police or prisons or KDF or whatever, the necessary legal processes are used to make sure that those people are dealt with.
Murkomen pointing fingers at individuals, including police officers, for allegedly taking part in the illegal gun trade, further saying that the suspects have formed intricate smuggling networks that stretch to Kenya's borders with South Sudan, Uganda and Ethiopia, especially in the areas such as Todonyang.
No, some of the bullets that bandits have are sold by police officers. And that's a fact, because we have rogue also police officers in different parts. You have rogue government officials who facilitate those. Again, targeted, intelligence-led investigations have led to a number of people who have been charged.
Warning those engaging in the illegal firearm business, Murkomen has appealed to political leaders to reject violence and promote peace as the country is entering a pre-election period, further warning those found that they will face the full force of the law.
Let government do its part. If we have failed as government before, we have now come out to say we want to assure you that we will do every operation to make sure that the place is peaceful. And the Cabinet Secretary for Interior does not speak for the sake of speaking.
Murkomen's remarks come amid renewed government efforts to curb banditry and restore stability in the troubled Kerio Valley corridor. Samira Mohammed for TV47, Nairobi.
All right, tonight, ODM party leader Raila Odinga now says he was misquoted on the party's position regarding the status of the party on its memorandum of understanding with President William Ruto's UDA party, which Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has described as dead. And as Apollo Kamal reports, rival camps emerged in the Orange Party, with one faction now threatening to remove Sifuna, whom Odinga termed as the party's spokesman on Friday as Party Secretary General.
The fate of the ODM and UDA Memorandum of Understanding continues to divide the Orange Party, with a section of the party leadership led by party national chairperson Gladys Wanga, Suna East MP Unet Mohammed, and a host of Odinga's allies from Luo Nyanza calling out Sifuna and the party for doublespeak.
Sasa wale ambaye wanasema hiyo memorandum imekufa, hiyo ni kama punda na nyamba. Memorandum hiyo bado iko. Na hakuna siku imekufa, kwa sababu memorandum inaweza kufa kwa njia ambayo inajulikana.
Na atakuja atuambie kama wanachama ametumwa na nani aseme hiyo mambo yenye anasema, kwa sababu tumesikizana na tumeelewana.
Jamii ya Waluya, jamii ya Wajaluo, jamii ya Nyanza, tulichukua msimamo kwamba Kenya lazima iunganishwe ikue pamoja. Mimi sijui hii mambo ya double speak inatoka wapi.
ODM party leader Raila Odinga, who attended a burial in Ugunja, Siaya County, says he was misquoted on his remarks, defending and endorsing Sifuna as the party's spokesperson on key issues.
If you don't understand what I'm saying, come to me and ask me to elaborate. We sit down as a party and discuss this in the proper organ of the party, and we come up with a resolution. This is what the party is done.
Kila mmoja anasema yake. Na mmoja anasema yake, nasema yake. Tukimaliza na hii, kuna Sifuna, ongea na waandishi wa habari. Sifuna anaongea na waandishi wa habari. Ndio ni. Ni mauti za chama.
A section of Odinga's allies have threatened to remove Sifuna as a party SG, alleging he has joined forces with former DP Rigathi Gachagua.
And if you are an ODM leader and you are speaking the language of Gachagua, claiming that you want order in the country, please know that you are not with us. We will never support people speaking the language of Gachagua.
Ndugu Junet, usikasirike sana na sisi, unajua wewe ni rafiki yangu. Iko wale wanakaa, iko wale wanasimama, na iko wale ambao wanaenda kuchukua kiti kama mimi.
Kenya Kwanza leaders, led by Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula and their allies, have also weighed in on the fallout in ODM, while rooting for President William Ruto's second term in office.
Sio watu wengi Kenya hii wako na tajriba kama ya mzee wetu Raila Odinga. So we support the Prime Minister as he supports the President because we have an elder statesman among us who can always advise us whenever we have issues.
Kibaki ameingia 10 years. Hakuna mtu alimwangaisha. Uhuru ameingia. Na kila mtu ana upungufu wake. Wengine wana upungufu wa kunywa pombe, wengine wana upungufu wa kwenda kanisa zaidi, wengine wana upungufu ya namna mbalimbali. Sasa Mheshimiwa Ruto amekuja 2022. For less than 3 years, ile kazi amefanya inaonekana.
Apol Kamau, TV47.
Now, 3 weeks after Raila Odinga proposed an intergenerational national dialogue during this year's Sabasaba commemoration, the ODM National Youth League is now moving to turn that vision into reality. As GOtv reports, the youth leaders are unveiling a structured dialogue framework aimed at uniting the country, starting at the grassroots, extending to the counties and culminating at the national level. Well, they say this won't be a one-time event, but a continuous process that includes all voices.
As calls for national dialogue grow louder, Kenya's youth are casting the net wide, demanding a seat for everyone at the table, from seasoned politicians and Gen Z voices to professionals to experts, religious leaders and marginalized communities. The message is clear that this cannot be a game of political musical chairs.
How? How do we dialogue with a government that has killed our children, our brothers and sisters? How do we dialogue with a government that has maimed us?
This is as youth leaders emphasize that the upcoming national conclave must reflect the full spectrum of Kenyan society. Leaders in their various capacities, the youth, professionals, and everyday citizens.
The issues from the polling stations will be picked. There will be delegates from the polling station to the ward, 10 per polling station. Then they will have a ward conclave, mini conclaves in the ward. The ward will elect delegates from the ward to the county. Then we'll have mini conclaves at the county level. Then after that, we'll have also generational mini conclaves. We will need a Gen Z conclave, mini conclave.
But beyond inclusion, they are questioning the deafening silence from the top.
Is there something wrong with the president? And what is his side of the story? Is there something wrong with Rigathi Gachagua? And what is this issue with negative ethnicity?
Some suggest that President William Ruto and his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua recent quiet postures and different standpoints may be strategic and perhaps calculated political moves not yet visible to the public. The youth, on the other hand, won't speculate as they insist that the nation deserves transparency. Dialogue, they argue, is the only thread that has ever stitched a fractured country back together.
For us to do away with this shoot the leg, we must, as youths, come to do or rather give good policies, what we think should be done by the government.
Critics, meanwhile, are casting doubt on the intentions behind ODM's involvement, raising concerns about potential political undertones.
Leo mimi na baba tumeweka sahihi.
Are you in the government? We're not in the government.
And when pressed, youth leaders clarified that the process is not about partisan advantage, but about national healing and inclusive reform. Yet, the elephant in the room remains trust. For many young Kenyans, especially those who recently took to the streets in protest, the question still lingers. Is this genuine change or just another political merry-go-round? GOtv, TV47.
I was smiling because Pastor Sue has just entered the studio with so much energy. Of course, ready for tonight's panel discussion. But before we get to that, Mount Kenya University's Maritime Academy in Malindi, Kilifi County is steadily carving a name for itself by equipping youth with skills that open doors to local and international maritime careers. Now, one of its standout trainees, Mohammed Yahya, is the latest beneficiary, having secured a job in Orlando, USA. Well, Yahya's journey is inspiring more young Kenyans to explore the blue economy, which continues to offer untapped job prospects across the globe.
Chuo chetu cha Mount Kenya Maritime Academy. Kiko pale Malindi, wako na walimu wazoefu na wako na vifaa ambavyo ni vizuri, vifaa vya kisasa ambavyo zinaweza kumsaidia mwanafunzi aweze kusoma kozi yake kwa huo muda wa siku 7 kwa urahisi na aelewe zaidi, kwa sababu walimu wamebobea, ni walimu wazuri. Nitaenda Amerika, Orlando, US kujiunga na meli ambayo natakana kwenda kufanya kazi, which is MSC Seashore.
I applied for cruise line and got accepted as a kitchen utility in the kitchen utility position. Currently, I'm waiting for my assignment, and I want to thank Mount Kenya University for the competence and the skills and the education which they gave me. And I think I'm ready to go and work on board.
I pursued a course in STCW within Malindi Maritime Academy, which he recently completed successfully. He has gotten a job in the US. He'll be traveling to Orlando, Florida, to pursue his career. His success story is a testimony to the quality hands-on training and mentorship we offer here in Mount Kenya University, and we welcome you to join us to pursue our programs to enable you unlock your infinite possibilities.
Congratulations to them. Now, moving on to some sporting action. Kenya is gearing up to co-host the 2024 African Cup of Nations chance alongside Uganda and Tanzania next month in what promises to be a vibrant celebration of African football, culture and unity. Now, with anticipation building, Harambee Stars head coach Benny McCarthy named a strong 25-man squad, sparking renewed hope among fans across the country. While more than just a tournament, CHAN represents a stage for national pride and ambition, offering Kenya a golden opportunity to showcase its talent, resilience and determination in the pursuit of continental glory. Now, Michael Karanga of Kiambu Golf Club and Pranari Kapoor of South Africa have booked their spots in the grand finale of the Kenya Amateur Match Play Championship, following a thrilling day of high-stakes match play at the Sigona Golf Club. Now, the two standout players will go head-to-head on Sunday, battling not only for the coveted championship title, but also for 130,000 shillings winner's purse and an exclusive entry into the 2026 Magical Kenya Open, one of Africa's premier golf events on the DP World Tour. In the first semi-final, Pranari Kapoor put on a dominant performance against Wasim Ali, closing the match 4-3. Kapoor displayed excellent course management and consistent ball striking, pulling away early and never letting up. Wasim Ali and John Lejirima will also be back on the course to contest the third playoff, another key match with important Kenya Amateur Golf Championship and World Amateur Golf ranking points at stake.
I'm very happy today to be part of the finalist. I started well on the 2 days on the stroke play. I made cut, I've come through and I've beaten Rejirima today and ready to face Kapul tomorrow on the finals. I'm looking forward to get this road to Kenya Open because now I'm going to play the finals.
Really fought my way up the ranks to get into the finals. Love the track's lovely. Played some really good golf in the match plays, won 5-3, 5-3, 5-3, 5-3. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be a long day, and I'm playing against Michael Karanga, who's a really good golfer. And I'm just going to give it everything and take it one day at a time, as usual. I was fortunate enough to win the Kabete Open last week. I'm really happy with that win. And obviously, no matter what tournament I play, where I'm playing, how I'm playing, I'm always looking to win. So the win will be on my mind tomorrow, but I just got to take it one hole at a time.
We, nakwambia maneno ya golf ni ngumu. All right, guys, ladies and gents, you know what? Who's in studio? Pastor Sue Munene. How are you doing?
I'm strong and very well. Wow,
you look
good to see
wonderful. Oh,
wow, thank you, my queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present, I'm sure we miss.
Yes.
Have you missed us?
Yeah, we have. Last Saturday
we didn't have a show. I missed you so much. Yeah.
Yes, but what we had was very important. I followed.
You followed?
I followed.
All right, so let's take a short commercial break, but we're coming back with our discussion for the night.
Wow. See you then.
Of friendships and relationships. Friendships begin with laughter that echoes and end with silences that stretch too long. Relationships start in eye contact and end when no one is looking anymore. Well, tonight, let's talk about friendships and relationships.